I'd almost forgotten about those good old days. And here she is. Knew she couldn't stay away for long. Instructor? How long have you been there? So, looks like you finally found out about my work history, huh? I guess that kind of tarnishes my ravishing adult charm a bit then. I hate to break it to you, but you didn't have any to begin with. Shh, did you hear an old maid sighing? What was that? And Claire, hee hee. Good evening, everyone. Captain Claire? This is quite the unusual combination. This can't possibly bode well. Let me be the first to assure you that this wasn't my idea. But the governor's asked me to tell you that tomorrow's field study is being put on hold. Instead, you get the exciting opportunity to help this lady and her goons with their evil schemes. Huh? What evil schemes? Sarah, could you maybe not try to put them off entirely before I've even had a chance to explain? Actually, there's a matter I'd like all of you to help us with. I've discussed this with the governor, and he decided that this would be the best way to handle the issue. True. Now, if you'd be so kind as to get on board. Oh, we're getting in Humvees with the supposedly fiercest military people around. I'll explain everything to you at the command post in Heimdall Central Station. So we're going back to where we started. Interesting. Terrorists? Indeed. I'm afraid we have no choice but to define them as such. Unfortunately, we have no clue as to their aim, nor do we know the names of the group's members, its size, or its history. At present, it doesn't even seem that the terrorist group has established a name for itself. That's a lot of unknowns. Right. Would I be correct in assuming the man we met in the Nord Highlands who was trying to start a war is a member? Uh, the mysterious G. So he's one of them, huh? He said his name was Gideon or G. Something like that. So that's what that man you encountered in the Highlands was up to. He does sound like the terrorist type. And you think he and his group are going to try something tomorrow? On the first day of the summer festival? We're currently operating under that assumption, yes. The summer festival lasts 3 days, but unlike festivals in other provinces, only the first day garners much attention. It's been a month since the incident in Ord. Feels like only yesterday. If they intend to make their next move soon, tomorrow is a likely time. I'd have to agree. Terrorists do love their time in the spotlight after all. And considering how easily Gideon gave you his name, I'm betting we'll start to see them acting up more openly soon. First, you gather arms and other like-minded allies in secret. Then, you reveal yourself with a bang and keep going in quick succession. That's the typical terrorist MO. I see. And you want us to assist with countermeasures against them? Right. The RMP will be joining forces with the Heimdall military police to bolster the capital's security. Unfortunately, as big as the capital is, I can't say with complete confidence that there will be no holes in our security. That's where you come in. You'll be assisting our security measures as a reserve force. Bah. It'd sure be nice if the guild was still active here. They would have come in mighty handy right about now. Yes, I don't disagree. Sarah, you do know that the RMP had no involvement in the guild's withdrawal from the capital, right? Oh, really? I mean, your boss and that brother of yours could hardly make their opposition to the guild more obvious if they tried. Well, wow, these two really seem to have a messy history between them. Exactly, Rose. That's exactly what it's like. It sure looks that way, especially where the guild is concerned. Although it sounds like your brother has been keeping busy in Crossbell recently. So, what's it gonna be? Whether you choose this as your field study task for tomorrow is totally up to you. If you decline, there are plenty of tasks the governor needs taken care of, like you've been doing the last 2 days. The summer festival is a busy time. After all, lots of little details need to be squared away. I think I speak for Group A when I say we'd be glad to join in with the anti-terrorist countermeasures. Group B feels the same. Alright then. Thank you for your assistance, everyone. Now, let's move right along to confirming the patrol routes you'll be following. Hey, Whiskey. Right? It seems that way. Same day, 2300. Wow, this place sure brings back memories. Up until about a year and a half ago, I'd swing by here at least once a week. Really? I wouldn't be surprised if I'd seen you around before then. Well, I did end up getting to know your sister. Fiona, right? Works as a piano teacher? Seriously? Wait, she did say she knew someone who worked at the guild. I guess she was talking about the instructor? Still, instructor. What is it that caused the guild to withdraw from the capital? I've been wondering that for a while now myself. The guild used to be pretty active here in Erebonia, right? Well, we always end up getting arrested or thrown in jail or something. We already did that here, but we could do it again. So let's see what Sarah says. Well, yeah. The direct cause was guild branches all over the country being blown up. But I'm sure you already know that. The culprits were a Jaeger Corps hired by a nasty bunch the guild was at odds with at the time. Well, still is. But anyway, thanks to a dependable ally, we were able to defeat the Jaegers, but by then, the Imperial government had its eye on us. They started making life difficult for us, took away most of the guild's authority in the country, leaving our hands tied. Are you guys gonna start a pun war here? If you are, I'm just gonna leave you to it because I'm no good at those. Let's see. Eventually, the branches here started closing one by one with no real prospect of ever reopening. So that's how it was. Instructor. Don't worry, your dad might be the city's governor, but he wasn't really involved. A certain friend of his, however, was very involved. You're talking about Chancellor Gileath Osborne, representative of the Imperial government, I assume. It's a trap! It's a trap! That's one of the sounds on my thing, or at least I think I put it on my list. It's a trap. It's kind of like a sister organization to the Railway Military Police. Be prepared to run. Anyway, after that, I was out of a job. That's when Principal Van Dyke came and offered me a position at the academy. I started as a combat instructor last spring, and after that, I wound up being chosen as your class homeroom teacher. I still help out the guild from time to time, though that's how I ended up bringing in our Jaeger princess here. Pat on the head. Knock it off! So that's what happened. You mentioned a Jaeger Corps was responsible for the attacks? What was its name? Oh, it wasn't the same group Fee used to run with. They were called Jester. Not a particularly high-ranking outfit. I see. Worried about me? Well, I did suspect it was likely a different corps. From the sound of it, the Jaeger Corps Fee belonged to was a pretty large one, though. Oh, definitely. She was with Zephyr. Their leader was this insidious guy known as the Jaeger King. You name a combat specialty, Zephyr had it covered. They were the only corps on par with the Red Constellation, which has its roots in the Berserkers of the Middle Ages. They caused me plenty of trouble back when I was still a full-time racer. Look who's talking. You caused us plenty of trouble yourself. It's hard to believe this all happened to people we actually know. Yeah, sounds more like a story out of some novel. Anyway, the terrorists you've been hearing about lately aren't part of any Jaeger Corps. I figured that was the case. Generally, Jaegers are interested in just two things: money and fighting. That Gideon guy you encountered in the Nord Highlands doesn't seem to fit that description, though. Yeah, I'm thinking you're right, Rose. If I had to guess, I'd say he's acting on some kind of deep-seated grudge. A grudge, huh? Well, it's hard to say anything for sure. I never met him myself. From what I understand, he did seem particularly tenacious. He was definitely that. Which means we're really going to have to step it up for our patrol tomorrow. Your involvement is just a precautionary step, but if you're going to help, give it your best, I say. Seems like your teamwork is smoother than ever, too, so all the better. Anyway, it's late, so get your report written and get some sleep. I'm going to crash in one of the empty rooms upstairs. Just precautionary. The instructor never changes, does she? You sure? She seemed more talkative than usual. Feels like she was pushing herself. Now that you mention it, she did seem far more forthcoming with information than usual. Maybe she's feeling a bit weird being back in her old workplace? You might be right. Still, I guess we're not really in any position to be worrying about her. We'll just have to do our best to coordinate with Group B tomorrow to make sure everything goes smoothly. Agreed. All right, the sooner we get that report written, the sooner we can get some sleep. Maybe.